Всех приветствую на второй части по Hogwarts Legacy, в которой мы будем познавать новые заклинания, открывать тайны, познавать мир, заводить новых друзей. Так что и будем получать баллы для гриффиндорцев. Приятного просмотра. Погнали. Прикольная вещь, что даже с кофе можно, с чашечкой или чай там взаимодействовать. То, что с глобусом тоже можно повзаимодействовать, тоже прикольная фича. Ладно, пойдем найдем свою группу. Найдите свою гостиную. Прошу прощения, отчитался. Да и познакомимся с одногруппниками нашего факультета.
Must be different starting Hogwarts in your 5th year.
Вы там это полегче комментируйте про меня, а то сейчас на вас какое-нибудь заклятие наложу и будет. Авадокидабра, блин. Так. Значит, у нас появились мини-квесты. Представиться Крисиде, представиться Гаррету и представиться Нелли. Крисида. Давайте знакомиться. Что ли?
Oh, hello there. Welcome to Gryffindor. I'm Cressida.
Pleasure to meet you, Cressida.
Splendidly theatrical arrival to the sorting ceremony last evening. Made it in by the skin of your teeth. Is it true that you're Professor Fig's protege?
No, I merely studied with him briefly before we arrived.
Blast! I was hoping he might have given you some advice on non-verbal casting.
Is that what you were trying to do just there?
Oh, yes. Having a spot of trouble. I've mastered the charm using its incantation, but this is proving a bit trickier.
Don't worry, you'll get it in the end.
Oh, I hope so. If I can get it, Professor Ronan's sure to be very impressed. I'm just going to keep at it.
Is it really that difficult to cast non-verbally?
Oh, yes. And if you don't get it just right, the results can be, shall we say, awkward. Once, I tried to cast Depulso non-verbally on a goblet in the Great Hall and ended up launching Professor Sharp's Yorkshire pudding into his face. He was not happy.
Well, good luck with it. It was nice to meet you, Cressida.
You as well. Enjoy your first day.
That girl thinks she can get away with anything.
With wings.
Professor could arrive.
I'm sure you'd use them.
It'll be the next butterbeer. Sure you don't want to try it? Brewed it myself. Hello, you're the new 5th year. Pleased to meet you. I'm Gareth Weasley. Heard about your travels here. Can't believe it. Glad you and Fig are all right. Is it true that someone from the Ministry was with you in the carriage?
Oh, yes. A friend of Professor Fig's.
Oh, didn't mean to pry. Nasty business, dragons. Again, very glad you're here.
Thank you, Gareth. So am I. Are you related to Professor Weasley?
I am. She's my aunt.
Does having your aunt here make things difficult?
More than you'd think. Most people assume I can't get into trouble or be given detention. But they're wrong. Aunt Matilda tends to treat me as if I'm a first year. Keeps too close an eye on me. It's all a bit suffocating, to be honest. Still, she means well. And she's an incredibly powerful witch. She'll have your back.
Are you having butterbeer? For breakfast?
Oh no. I've been perfecting a recipe I came up with over the summer. I'm almost there, based on some reactions that may need a bit more work.
Well, it was nice meeting you, Gareth. And thank you for the insights on your aunt.
Pleasure to meet you as well. Good luck today.
Nellie'll do anything for a thrill.
Professor
could arrive any moment.
And if it's double potions, I question whether I wouldn't just rather be a monk.
Why is everyone so highly strung? It's perfectly safe. Well, hello. Don't mind me. I find it helpful to change my point of view now and again. Put things in perspective. Once I made it to the top of Gryffindor Tower, from the outside, without a broom.
Goodness.
I'm Nellie, by the way. Nellie Ogspire. I've heard rumors about what happened to you on your way to Hogwarts. Is it true? About the dragon?
It's true, and I was almost killed. Professor Fig and I were lucky to escape with our lives.
How awful for you. And of course, that poor man from the Ministry. But still, you got to see a dragon. Anyway, you've certainly brought some much-needed excitement to Gryffindor. And Hogwarts, for that matter.
What exactly are the rumors about my journey to Hogwarts?
That you escaped a dragon attack? Isn't that enough? Most of us arrive via train or boat, not having just escaped the jaws of a dragon. Of course it's got people talking. Word travels fast at Hogwarts.
I'm sure I'll be seeing you around, either in our common room or when you scale your next tower.
You never know. Bye for now.
New Gryffindor. Professor Weasley's waiting for you outside the common room.
See your parents' faces when they see your marks at the end of term. Perhaps you should work on your poly. You can save them a visit as sharp and lie yourself silly about how much
Good morning.
Здравствуйте,
I trust you're ready
профессор
for your first
Уизли.
day at Hogwarts?
I've been dreaming of this day for a long time. Can't believe I'm here.
Well, you
Что?
are here.
Урок?
Make the most
Ну,
of it.
пойдемте.
You only have one
Что
first
сегодня
day
изучать
at
будем?
Hogwarts. Now, in light of your unique situation, joining us as a fifth year, you'll need to catch up with your classmates and not fall behind. Especially as you'll be expected to complete your OWLs at the end of the
Я вот
year.
что не понял, почему
Owls. Owls.
в этой игре вместо
They will determine
Дамблдора
what type of career you can have when you leave.
другой
After
директор.
much discussion with the
Ну, что я не
headmaster
понял.
and the Department of Magical Education
То ли
of the
это
Ministry,
происходит после
we
событий
devised
Гарри
something
Поттера,
extraordinary to ensure
то
your
ли
success.
до Гарри Поттера и до того, как
Here you are.
Дамблдор стал директором Хогвартса. Это красиво, это красочно. Хоп, пом.
What is it?
It is a
Что
wizard's
это?
field guide.
Хороший вопрос.
Keep track of what you are learning so that you master all that's expected of a fifth year. You would be wise to take full advantage of this exceptionally valuable resource.
Хоп, под мышку книжечку так.
Thank you,
Холюп.
Professor, but
И
what do
все, и
you mean it
готово.
will keep track of what I'm learning?
Perhaps seeing it in action will answer any questions you may have. Walk with me and we shall put it to the test.
Пошлите.
This way.
Следуйте за профессором Уизли. Ну.
The guide will give you opportunities to practice your magic and educate yourself about wizarding lore. I certainly would have appreciated something like the field guide when I was a student. Using the guide will also train you to be alert to your surroundings. Do keep up! Ah! The guide appears to have some information for you about that painting of poor Barufio. Simply cast Revelio on it, and we'll see what the guide says.
Revelio.
Портрет Баруфио. Маруфио. Ставим на паузу, читаем, ребят, кому интересно описание данной картины. А мы продолжаем. Задание остается неизменным. Следуйте за профессором Уизли. Уизли. На-на-на. На-на-на-на-на. Ну, пойдемте, профессор. Пойдемте, пойдемте. Здесь всегда людно. Это центр нашего замка. Понятное дело, что здесь всегда будет людно, если это центр замка.
You'll be expected to attend both Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts classes today. And I'd like to be sure you get to Hogsmeade as soon as possible to replace the supplies you lost on the way here.
Can you tell me more about the Defense Against the Dark Arts class?
Defense Against the Dark Arts, as the name implies, focuses on how to defend oneself against the evils that lurk beyond these walls. A mastery of Defense Against the Dark Arts is required for those who aspire to become auras. Fortunately, we are lucky to have the ever-gifted Professor Heckert in charge of our students' education in that regard.
You mentioned Hogsmeade, Professor.
Hogsmeade is the only all-wizarding village in Britain and is home to an array of shops and pubs. You should be able to find all of the school supplies you require in Hogsmeade. You will also, I imagine, enjoy many a butterbeer there with friends in due course.
Все, что было мне интересно, мы вроде узнали.
Thank you, Professor
Так что
Weasley.
попрощаемся с профессором Уизли и
And you have much to
пойдем на
learn.
следующие уроки.
Happily, your professors have agreed to create additional assignments for you outside of class. You'll be up to speed in no time. Judging by your adept use of Revelio earlier, I'd say Professor Fig succeeded in at least showing you the basics.
He did, Professor.
He's been terribly vague as to the events preceding your arrival, specifically about what happened after that awful dragon attack. My suspicion is that there's more to the story than a search for
А с
belongings
какой
and an
целью,
extended trip up to the
профессор
castle.
Уизли, вы интересуетесь, как мы добрались и что у нас случилось по дороге сюда? А? С какой целью интересуетесь? Я
We
не
did take a
хочу
bit of a
узнавать.
detour on the way here. Ended up exploring some ruins and I shouldn't say more.
Exploring ruins? Well, I presume Professor Fig has his reasons for keeping the
Фигу, да.
details to
Профессора
himself
Фигу
for
я не
now.
хочу сдавать. А вот
Speak of
он.
the devil, Professor Fig. Your ears must have been burning.
Oh?
Yes. You seem to have provided our new fifth year with a solid foundation in the basics of spellcasting.
Ah, I'm afraid I can't take all the credit there, Professor. They've a rare aptitude for magic, it seems.
Well, I'm just glad you both arrived in one piece. Perfectly good boats and carriages to Hogwarts, and you chose to fly in the path of a dragon.
I wouldn't say I chose the dragon's path, Professor. Rather unfortunately, it would seem that it chose
Профессор
us.
Фиг на таком
Very
начале
well.
на расслабоне,
Enough
типа...
chit-chat. I need to get
Ну
to
да.
class myself. Might I rely on you, Professor Fig, to
Да,
explain the
да,
details of the
рассказывайте, да,
field
все
guide's
хорошо.
map?
Of course.
Thank
Я
you.
не тороплюсь, да. Что-то типа
Good
из
luck
этого...
And remember to use
И вам
your
хорошего дня,
field guide.
профессор Уизли.
It will be invaluable to you. And
Короче, у нас с
invaluable
профессором
to me,
Фиг
as
своя
I'll be using it to keep
маленькая
up to date on
тайна,
your progress.
которую, я
Yes,
надеюсь,
Professor.
Come and find me
Мы
in my classroom after you've
не
attended
раскроем
both
и не
classes
повернем
today,
вспять
and I'll explain
сюжет,
more
который
about those
нам
assignments I mentioned. And we'll see if we can't get you to
заложен
Hogsmeade for
разработчиками.
those supplies.
It's good to see you, Professor.
And you. I was hoping our paths would cross today, before you immersed yourself in studies. Did I hear you and Professor Weasley talking about exploring ruins?
She caught me off guard. I didn't tell her anything
Что
else
мне
about
здесь
our
в
travels
диалогах
here.
очень
I will
нравится,
say,
ребят,
I
то,
think she suspects we're
что
not being entirely forthcoming.
Yes, well,
от выбранного
Professor Weasley is a
диалога
brilliant and astute witch.
эмоция
It was right to keep the
NPC
details to yourself for now.
разная.
We don't know
То есть
where
она
this
не
path we've embarked upon
одна и
will
та же,
lead.
она разная. То есть
It may require a
эмоции
bit more flexibility with your
постарались
time
сделать
than she
живыми.
would approve of.
За что
And she
респект.
may feel obliged to share details with the headmaster that would be better left between us.
Understood, Professor.
Good. Now, as capable as you are, I believe the ability you possess obliges you to be well trained. Happily, you have the benefit of an exceptionally skilled team of witches and wizards to guide you. Speaking of guides, and so that I may avoid another not-so-subtle reproof from Professor Weasley, why don't I show you the clever enchantment we included in the field guide's map? Unfold it and have a look.
Так, поговорили мы с профессором Фиг. Поэтому открываем карту и телепортируемся на следующий квест, чтобы сэкономить время, как говорится.
The map is enchanted to help you find your way.
This will be incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Now, sounds like you've quite a day ahead, what with classes and a trip to Hogsmeade for supplies, including your own wand. You'll enjoy Mr. Ollivander. He's an exceptional craftsman and a good friend. I shall reach out when I have more information about our mysterious locket. For now, focus on your classes and pay attention. More than your owls may hinge on the magic you are able to master within these walls.
Спасибо за ценную информацию, профессор Фиг. Так, в этом меню мы можем посмотреть задания. И всякие там способности и навыки. Понятненько. Зачарованный компас у нас появилась такая подзадача или такое способность мы открыли. Так. Оу. Зашибись. Зашибись. Первый баг. Клипуем. А с этими дверьми все отлично. Да. Что за обезьяна? Прошу прощения. Ладно. Смотрим кат-сцену. Скорее всего, сейчас она будет.
Is that all you've got?
Levioso!
Professor Hecat!
Perhaps you'd be good enough to blast each other to pieces on your own time. I get new students every year, but I only have one Hebridean black skull. It was a token from the Great Poacher Raid of 1878. No doubt you've heard of it. Now, you may be asking yourself how an old woman like me single-handedly took out the largest poacher ring in eastern Wales and lived to boast about it. Knowledge. To the wise, age matters very little. Today we will review a spell that has saved me from death at the hands of dark wizards more times than I care to remember. Levioso.
Levioso? A levitation charm?
Levioso! A surprised opponent is a weak opponent. Care to defend yourself, Master Pruitt? No? One thing I've learned as an unspeakable is the value of simplicity, especially in the heat of battle.
Что-то мне кажется, что вот этот вот за дерзость свою сейчас получит.
Starting with something small.
И у нас новое заклятие Левиоссо. Изучаем.
Levioso.
Now, let's try something a little larger. Let us begin with
Сейчас
the
будем
basic
опробовать.
cast.
Это ваше Левиоссо. Как оно работает и с чем его едят.
See how the dummy deflected your cast? This time, cast Levioso first, then the basic cast. Remember, good. Now, the basic cast. Well done. Very good. But the best way to practice is by
Манекенчик
duel.
минус.
We'll start with
Кто
you.
следующий?
Duelist, take your marks.
Time for a proper Hogwarts welcome.
Now, I want a fair
Давай,
duel,
мальчик.
using only Levioso,
Покажи, на что ты
basic
способен.
cast, and Protego. You may begin.
Давай, давай, давай.
This should be easy.
Это будет весело.
This can't be your first duel.
Let's just say I'm a quick man.
If only all of my students would accept.
Levioso.
I do enjoy lively duels.
Левиоссо.
Try to anticipate your opponent's next
Нифига себе.
move.
Not bad for a beginner. You give as good as you get.
Не дурно. Да это сногсшибательно.
I put you on the spot, and you rose to the challenge. Points to Gryffindor.
Thank you, Professor Hecat. Glad to have the opportunity to practice.
If what I've seen today is any indication, we can expect great things from you. I demand excellence from my students. They are capable of achieving it, and they must achieve it.
Профессор.
A classroom duel is one thing.
Дело, говорит
but battling
профессор.
dark wizards,
Дело.
or as ever more likely, goblins, is a different kettle of Grindylows entirely.
Understood, Professor.
So, I'd advise you to keep practicing whenever you can. Perhaps Mr. Sallow will have some ideas for you. Again, well done today. I shall reach out soon with additional assignments. All right. That's enough spectacle for one day.
Nice work.
I enjoyed that.
Well, that duel was quite something. Everyone will be talking about it.
It was certainly good practice.
Practice? It felt more like I was dueling an expert. Sebastian Sallow, by the way. Didn't expect a new student to be so deft with a wand. Then again, perhaps this wasn't your first duel.
I've dueled enough. Consider yourself lucky I held back.
Huh, fair enough. You owe me an honest duel when you aren't. You know, you might be a perfect fit for a certain exclusive, unsanctioned dueling organization.
Unsanctioned? I don't know. School rules are in place for a reason.
Yes, to keep students in the dark. So many things we're deemed unprepared to know. If you want to get the most out of your time at Hogwarts, you're going to need to break the rules now and then. Whether it's joining a secret dueling club, or sneaking into the restricted section of the library, you just have to be clever enough not to get caught.
Thank you, Sebastian. I'll keep that in mind.
Good.
Тут
Pleasure
маленькая
chatting with you.
отсылочка
I'm
идет
sure I'll see you soon.
на
Perhaps somewhere
фильм о
unsanctioned.
Гарри Поттере.
We'll see if your
по
performance
запретным
today was sheer
библиотекам,
luck
когда только
or actual skill.
Гарри попал
Look for
в
Luke and
Хогвартс.
Brattleby near the clock tower entrance,
На
if
первый
you're interested.
факультет, на первый год,
Till next time.
когда еще был юный. Ладно. Получили мы ачивку, ребят. И отправляемся в класс Надо
Always
отправиться в
thought
класс
Levioso was for
заклинаний.
first
Следующий
years. Not anymore.
класс. Куда мы сейчас и побежим.
Professor Ronan tends to go on a bit. We sometimes have to remind him to come into the lessons.
Some of us don't necessarily want him to get back to the lesson.
Here. Behind you. There is an open seat here.
Thank you.
Hello, I am Nettie. So you are the new student. Have you met Professor Ronan yet?
Shall we begin? Welcome to Year 5 of Charms. Now, this will be a crucial year in your education on the art of charm work. But I am confident that we will take hold with the passion and rigor requisite of such a challenge. Right. Now, everyone, please open your textbooks to page 517. But before we begin, can anyone here tell me the difference between the incantations of the color change and growth charms? Anyone? Anyone? I am afraid it is too late to study now. My, the summer months must have really taken a toll on you all. By the looks of it, you all spent your holidays practicing Obliviate on one another. Do you even remember how to perform a basic summoning charm? Well, it seems that we are in dire need of review. Everyone get into pairs and take positions on opposite sides of the classroom. Now let's put those textbooks to use as the blunt objects you so believe they are, and take turns summoning them out of one another's hands. Only one book will be needed per partnership, Miss Dale. Thank you. Get into place now.
Accio!
That is not bad.
You are a swift learner. I see a lot of potential, but remember, potential is nothing without practice. Keep at it. You might just rival Miss Onai here. Very good, everyone. That's enough of that. Well, as you all seem to have the basics down, and it is an exceptionally lovely day, I was thinking that we might have ourselves a little excursion outside for a spot of fresh air. After me. Sport to put our prowess with the summoning charm to the test, right? So why don't we have our newest student start us off? Very simply, cast Accio on one of the spheres and relinquish your charm at the... Very good! Now, think of this like gobstones, if you will. But instead of throwing the marbles out, you are summoning them to... Excellent, good. Not to worry. That's it! Very good. Points to Gryffindor. But there's certainly no sport in playing without some friendly competition. Miss Onai, would you care to give our new student a bit of a challenge? Come on up. You'll be the blues, just as before, and Miss Onai, you are playing red. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Be sharp. There we go.
Splendid!
Let us see this. Phew. Well done. Watch this. That is how it's done.
Stay focused. Let us make this a bit more interesting, shall we?
I think we are well past interesting at this point.
I'll say.
Enough chatter. Focus now. You will need it. This round settles it all.
Be sharp. There we go.
Very good.
Here we go.
happens to the best of us.
Watch this. Yes! Quite impressive.
Very good, both of you. Well done. Things on the way out.
Well done back there. You took the loss in stride. Didn't want to go too easy on you. Took me weeks to become proficient with Accio. Took weeks for me to get anything right when I transferred here. It gets easier, I promise.
На данный момент вторая серия подходит к заключительному финалу. Спасибо всем, кто посмотрел. Комментируем, ставим лайки, подписываемся на канал, подбиваем колокольчик, делаем активность. Всем спасибо.
I remember how I felt when I first arrived. I transferred here from Ouagadougou just before my 4th year. My mother received an offer to teach divination here. Before I knew it, we had left Uganda and were halfway around the world at a new school in a new country.
Well, it's been nice talking and competing with you.
And with you. I think Professor Ronan wants to talk to you. Better not keep him waiting. Until next time.
Of course, you can use Accio.